A lot of memories, you know. It's fun. It's fun being here. Obviously, some very cherished memories in my career, and see some old friends, and you know, just to be here, man. It's funny how baseball works. You know, obviously, I wouldn't like to start the year on the IL at all, but you know, as baseball always tends to have some funny stories and connections. You know, here I am, my first start as a Met in Detroit. You know, don't look at anything really negatively. Just appreciate it for what it was and close that chapter and move on to the new one. I'm, you know, right in the thick of a brand new chapter of you know, with the Mets, and I'm very pleased with my time in Houston as well. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that was like the first chapter of my baseball career. It was a long one, you know, but you know, it ended and ended peacefully, and you know, I think both sides wish nothing but the best. So that's what a great way to do it. I mean, just excited to be back with Max. You know, I think we kind of went our separate ways, and you know, to come back together at this stage in our career, I think has been such a blessing. And you know, we've had a lot of talks about pitching and baseball, and just you know, reconnecting. It's been great. I mean, 10 out of 10. You know. It's nice to finally, you know, start to get that little energy, you know, a little nervousness starts to kick in. You know your start day's getting close. Yeah, I'm ready to go. You know, I don't know if you'll ever hear me say I'm perfectly pleased. So, you know, I think for what it's worth, you know, it was my first. I had one rehab start, so you know, it wasn't like I was mid-season form. But first box is to check is that you're healthy, and was able to do that, and you know, now hopefully everything starts to click and dial in as I get some starts under my belt. I only wanted to make one rehab start, man, you know, and so like at this level, you know, I can't come up here and expect to only throw 70 pitches. You know, that's not fair for the team. It's not fair for the bullpen. You know, you have one bad inning and all of a sudden you're only throwing, you know, 3 or 4 innings, and everybody else has to pick up the pieces. So I wasn't going to do that, but obviously wanted to get back here as soon as possible, but also safely. So in my mind, I thought it was a fairly aggressive, but like fair in a good way. Like I know that it's a little bit of a jump, but I thought it was very doable, especially since I was able to keep throwing since the end of spring training. You know, I always had that in the back of my mind that I didn't have to shut it down, so the build-up could go a little faster.
In hindsight, how do you look back on the decision to keep throwing throughout?
Well, I think it saved me a couple weeks on the back end. So yeah, I think it was a blessing that I was able to keep doing that, and I'm absolutely happy that I did.